It's easy to fall in love. The hard part is finding someone to catch you. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Now and then, hang a question mark on the things you have long taken for granted. Beware of the man of a single book. The time you enjoy wasting is not wasted time. Our great democracies still tend to think that a stupid man is more likely to be honest than a clever man. Of all forms of caution, caution in love is perhaps the most fatal to true happiness. The trouble with the world is that the stupid are cocksure and the intelligent are full of doubt. An idealist is one who, on noticing that a rose smells better than a cabbage, concludes that it makes a better soup. I would never die for my beliefs because I might be wrong. Those who have never known the deep intimacy and the intense companionship of happy mutual love have missed the best thing that life has to give. It is a waste of energy to be angry with a man who behaves badly, just as it is to be angry with a car that won't go. Neither a man, nor a crowd, nor a nation can be trusted to act humanely or to think sanely under the influence of a great fear. A gift is pure when it is given from the heart to the right person at the right time and at the right place when we expect nothing in return. No one gossips about the other people's secret virtues. A man without a bias cannot write interesting history. There is no reason to suppose that the world had a beginning at all. The idea that things must have a beginning is really due to the poverty of our thoughts. The use of self-control is like the use of brakes on train. It is useful when you find yourself in wrong direction, but merely harmful when the direction is right. What is wanted is not the will to believe, but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric. The only thing that will redeem mankind is cooperation. Not to be absolutely certain is, I think, one of the essential things in rationality. Patriots always talk of dying for their country, and never of killing for their country. The fundamental defect of fathers is that they want their children to be a credit to them. Men are born ignorant, not stupid. They are made stupid by education. The total amount of undesired sex endured by women is probably greater in marriage than in prostitution. We love those who hate our enemies, and if we had no enemies, there would be very few people whom we should love. Politics is concerned with herds rather than with individuals, and the passions which are important in politics are therefore those in which the various members of a given herd can feel alike. Machines are worshipped because they are beautiful and valued because they confer power. They are hated because they are hideous and loathed because they impose slavery. A stupid man's report of what a clever man says is never accurate. because he unconsciously translates what he hears into something that he can understand. It is normal to hate what we fear, and it happens frequently, though not always, that we fear what we hate. To endure uncertainty is difficult, but so are most of the other virtues. Man is a credulous animal and must believe something. In the absence of good grounds for belief, he will be satisfied with bad ones. Science may set limits to knowledge, but should not set limits to imagination. The secret of happiness is this: let your interest be as wide as possible, and let your reactions to the things and persons who interest you be as far as possible friendly rather than hostile. Dogmatism is the greatest of mental obstacles to human happiness. Love can flourish only as long as it is free and spontaneous. It tends to be killed by the thought of duty. To say that it is your duty to love so and so is the surest way to cause you to hate him or her. Those who forget good and evil and seek only to know the facts are more likely to achieve good than those who view the world through the distorting medium of their own desires. No nation was ever so virtuous as each believes itself, and none was ever so wicked as each believes the other. It is preoccupation with possession, more than anything else, that prevents men from living freely and nobly. To save the world requires faith and courage, faith in reason and courage to proclaim what reason shows to be true. Most people would die sooner than think, in fact, they do so. To fear love is to fear life, and those who fear life are already 3 parts dead. All definite knowledge, so I should contend, belongs to science. All dogma as to what surpasses definite knowledge belongs to theology. But between theology and science, there is a no man's land, exposed to attack by both sides. This no man's land is philosophy. In democratic countries, the most important private organizations are economic. Unlike secret societies, they are able to exercise their terrorism without illegality, since they do not threaten to kill their enemies, but only to starve them. Religion is based, I think, primarily and mainly upon fear. It is partly the terror of the unknown, and partly the wish to feel that you have a kind of elder brother who will stand by you in all your troubles and disputes. The most essential characteristic of scientific technique is that it proceeds from experiment, not from tradition. The experimental habit of mind is a difficult one for most people to maintain. Indeed, the science of one generation has already become the tradition of the next. Joy of life depends upon a certain spontaneity in regard to sex. Where sex is repressed, only work remains, and a gospel of work for work's sake never produced any work worth doing. Knowledge, like other good things, is difficult, but not impossible. The dogmatist forgets the difficulty, the skeptic denies the possibility. The good life is one inspired by love and guided by knowledge. The hardest thing to learn in life is which bridge to cross and which to burn. War doesn't decide who is right. War decides who is left. Uncertainty in the presence of vivid hopes and fears is painful, but must be endured if we wish to live without the support of comforting fairy tales. Religions which condemn the pleasures of sense drive men to seek the pleasures of power. Whatever we know without inference is mental. Every advance in civilization has been denounced as unnatural while it was recent. Humankind has become so much one family that we cannot ensure our own prosperity except by ensuring that of everyone else. If you wish to be happy yourself, you must resign yourself to seeing others also happy.